This woman was completely out of her mind. She came to the edge of a cliff, planning to knit a scarf. The more she knit, the longer the scarf became, and eventually, the other end dropped into the abyss. In order to avoid being pulled in by the scarf, she accelerated her knitting speed, but her pace couldn't match the speed at which the scarf was falling. Soon, she was being dragged toward the cliff, but luckily, she managed to catch the edge with her feet, preventing herself from falling. But as she looked at the scarf she had worked so hard on, she refused to give up. She started knitting frantically again, and soon, her knitting speed was so fast that the scarf floated in the air like a kite. However, the ball of yarn quickly ran out. As she lowered her head to find more yarn, she almost got pulled in by the scarf again. Desperately, she grabbed the fabric, not wanting to see her hard work suddenly vanish. Then, a lock of hair on her forehead caught her attention. The next moment, she used her hair, grown over 30 years, to continue knitting, but even the thickest hair eventually runs out. Once again, she was pulled toward the edge of the cliff, and suddenly, her gaze landed on a pair of scissors. She ran desperately toward the scissors, but was quickly knocked over by the scarf, which pulled her at the crucial moment. She stabbed her knitting needle into the ground, slowly crawling forward, but just as she was about to grab the scissors, the needle broke, and the scarf quickly pulled her toward the cliff. It seemed like she would lose her life, but at the last moment, she bit the scarf to cut it, and painfully climbed back up. She looked regretfully at the scarf at the bottom of the cliff, her hands unconsciously repeating the knitting motions. This misadventure left a deep mark on her, and she threw her needles into the air, but not long after, she returned to the edge of the cliff, this time with a small stool. She had prepared plenty of yarn, determined to knit the longest scarf in the world.